There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, good afternoon, cats and kittens. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and I'm back with another thrift haul. Now, obviously, we're not on the kitchen counter. We need all the sunlight we can get this time of year. Thank goodness for those who really need sunlight. Our days are getting longer. Yeah, okay. So we're out here on top of the phonograph. We're going to look at some things. And every single thing that I'm going to show you is currently listed for sale in the Old Curiosity Shop. The link to my eBay store is always in the description box right underneath of the video.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message. Now, there I am, I lied already. I do have one item at the very end. That's the only item I'm keeping, and we'll show you that at the very end. So we'll start off with a teapot, creamer, and sugar. Wonderful, made in Japan. I love the decoration on these, and it's heavy. It's a heavy type of porcelain, not that thin, paper thin stuff. Anyway, it is marked Nippon on the bottom. We can see right there. I think it's the Jeoh, J-E-O-H. Yeah, it is. Nippon. And that puts it between 1891 and 1921. All hand-painted in those typical colors that they love to use. There's no damage on any of it, which is somewhat unusual. Now, I only have sugar bowl, creamer, and the teapot back there. There looks like that needs to be washed a little bit more. I washed this, but there's something on there that needs to come off. And there's the teapot. We'll let you see that. Clean on the inside, and it's a small one. You could, get maybe 2 or 3 cups of tea in that, possibly 4. Very nice. By the way, ignore the dust on my runner. I have it excuse me, turned upside down because this side is a little busy, but this is a beautiful one that comes from the 1920s, we'll put it this way. Okay, let's look at a few uranium glass pieces. That's going to be one of the biggest uranium glass vases you'll find. That sucker is, oh, what is that, 14 inches tall. The measurements are in the eBay store. That's another one of those forms that's kind of tricky. Why? Because more than one company copied this form. So you'll see them by Tiffin, and you'll see them by the other, many of the other great glass companies of the 1920s and 30s. It's sometimes hard to tell who made it. It, of course, glows under blacklight. It's filled with uranium, which will not hurt you. There's a little bit of dust in it. There are no chips or cracks on this one, unmarked, and I don't expect it to be. But that is, that's a great one. Optic vertical panels there. That's just going to, oh my gosh, that'll be the highlight of your uranium display if you display it with a light on it. I guess we maybe should light it up at the end of the video. I might do that. Just might do that. Okay, next, a day late and $1 short is a wedding box in red. I know it isn't Valentine's Day yet, but there's no way I can get this to you by then. well, that doesn't matter. It's a small one made of glass. Jeanette made a lot of these. Westmoreland made some in milk glass. It was popular 40s, 50s, 60s, and when you see them in red, as we do here, this is a flashed on color. I don't buy these very often when the color is flashed on because many times they've been damaged. And I don't know whether you can see that this is in really good, I mean, we hardly have a little bit of paint loss. As long as you treat it gently, you really don't have to worry about the paint coming off. Also, this one is not chipped. Quite frequently they are. Usually called a wedding box or a wedding jar. You know, that's bride's box. Boy, it's too bad I didn't have this before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving, isn't that awful? Before Valentine's Day. It's just the right size for little cinnamon hearts. Okay, depression glass. Here is the wonderful pink Jeanette Sunflower 3-footed cake stand. You can find these in uranium green and also in pink. And this was a premium when you bought sacks of flour during the Depression era. So I have bought and sold these many times. It's a nice little cake stand there, and use it for whatever you want. True Depression glass, 1930s. Your grandmother had one. You know she did. And now a piece of hostess ware by Pottery Guild from the 1930s. Very deco in its shape. It's losing some of its paint on the front, which is sort of charming. It's crazed. But the cookie jar itself has no chips. When we take off the lid, there's an interior chip, which you don't see when the lid is on. Who was trying to steal ginger snaps at 3 o'clock in the morning and did that? A little bit of staining inside. There's the Pottery Guild mark on the bottom. I bought this a while ago and was going to keep it, but I've decided to part with it. I like it this way. That has a real deco look to it. And you can find other pieces in this pattern for the kitchen. So if you like the 1940s kitchen look, there you go. That's for you. All right, let's put this over here. And let's look at another. Oh my goodness, that weighs 9,000 pounds. Not really, but that's a big mixing bowl. That's the biggest one. This one also glows like Walmart on Christmas Eve. Not that I've ever been to a Walmart on Christmas Eve. Great big mixing bowl. Made by Hocking Glass. So it's before 1937. Before the merger. And there is a mark on the bottom, which I'm not going to try to get you to see. But then here I am trying to get you to see it. It's right there. Very faint, but that's a Hocking Glass mark. I don't know but whether it's all the H and the G and the C for company is kind of hard to see, but that's that. Great big glass mixing bowl, focus, hocus pocus. There it is. Okay, no chips, no cracks, and boy, that's a woo! Talk about pound cake. That's a heavy mixing bowl. Here is a cute little tea for one, or no, actually tea for two. It's a little blue willow teapot with crazing but no chips or cracks. Cute little thing. And listen, you can be fancy-pantsy while you're sitting there in your Kmart bathrobe. Listen, pour your morning coffee in this and do it. Treat yourself and be fancy. Be fancy. Blue willow pattern. No chips or cracks on this either. There's no damage on it. It's not really marked on the bottom, just a number. I haven't seen one that small, and in such, you know, well, I haven't seen one that small, and I better stop grabbing it by its spout before you yell at me. All right, there it is. That's a fun one. Now this thing, I grew up with this, you grew up with this. Everybody's mother and grandmother had this celery dish. My mother still has it, and well, I guess she still has it. It's a very soft ceramic, and but these were commercially made. And how many of you had that on your picnic table in the summertime, or just anytime celery and carrot sticks were served? We always had celery and carrot sticks as an hors d'oeuvre before a lot of dinners, holiday dinners. And I don't have one of these for myself. This one is for sale, because if my mother still has hers, I'll probably wind up with that. But this, I love this little thing here, celery dish. This is also from the this is a Depression era one. I have it in green. Here it is in clear glass. And it's not marked on the bottom, but it is a 30s piece. I'll trade hands for a minute. And I like this one. We have the measurements on this side, and then on this side as well, and you can pour. So there's no damage on this either. It needs to be cleaned again. I washed it, but I think I need to clean it again. A little 1930s kitchen piece there. I like that. I like that one a lot. Now look at this little thing. It's also uranium glass. What is it? Well, it's not a mixing bowl, but it is so tiny to be a console bowl. It has this wonderful rolled edge, and it's footed. Look at that. Nothing on the bottom in terms of a mark. So which glass company made it? Could have been any one of them. Let's just call it a little candy dish. Obviously not meant to mix food in, with that rolled edge and the footed bottom, but it's tiny. Look, it's what, 5 inches across. And of course it glows under a black light. And there's no damage on it. And it's green, and it's from the 1930s. What do you think of that? Here's the last piece that is for sale out of this lot, and it is a big, beautiful pink console bowl that's footed and etched. Could be Lancaster glass. They like to do a lot of this etching, or engraving, I should say. It's hand engraved. But of course other companies did it as well. This one, as I said, is in pink, as you can see. And it's in lovely condition. The flowers on there. And it's a nice size. Nice to have one, up on a pedestal like that. And as I said, no chips or cracks. If you're a pink Depression glass fan, there you go. Now the only thing that's left that I bought while out shopping, and I'm not selling, and you'll know why as soon as you see it, because it belongs in a 1930s kitchen. And there you go. Now, I've seen many a rolling pin from that era, but not one with these funny little handles. I love it. Classic 30s rolling pin. That one is bent, so I've got to pull that pin out and fix it. But what do you think of that? Yeah. Okay, folks, that's it. Here it is again, all across the windowsill, at least some of it. I'm not going to go any farther because that stuff down there isn't ready yet. So as the sun goes down, or as the sun fades behind the buildings here in Philadelphia, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. So long for now.